We have some NHL news and notes to discuss today, including some key players down with long-term injuries and a little bit of trade talk. And that's coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. On this channel, we review and analyze all 31 NHL teams with an unbiased opinion. So if you love hockey, hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss anything. As we mentioned off the top, there's some key injuries that are going to impact some teams here long term. Let's start with the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg Jets top center Mark Scheifele is down for 6 to 8 weeks, diagnosed with an upper body injury is all they've disclosed, but from what I could tell, looks like it was more likely a shoulder injury based on how he fell there. I've seen the highlights of what happened. Didn't look too good for Scheifele. Obviously that's a big blow to their team. They've had a tremendous season so far. They've been off to a great start, but lately they have stumbled a bit, and that's certainly not going to help matters. So be interested to see if the Winnipeg Jets look to the trade scene at all to see if they can upgrade any forward positions. But for right now, it looks like they're going to move Blake Wheeler to center. Matthew Perreault will move up into the top 6 as well. So at least they're pretty well positioned that way that they don't have to panic too bad. I'd say more likely they're going to probably try to ride this out and see what they can do here while he's out. Obviously, they've had lots of points racked up in the bank, so that at least that'll kind of hold their playoff position, hopefully fairly firm while he recovers. Another long-term injury would be the New York Rangers' Chris Kreider, who's been diagnosed with blood clots in his arm. That's obviously a pretty scary situation. We've seen some other players recently have to retire because of this, so there hasn't been a whole lot of details released outside of that he's just was diagnosed with a blood clot. Obviously, it's hard to put a timetable on this, so it could be a while before they get things figured out and figure out if he can play with this or how that's going to impact him going forward. The Pittsburgh Penguins have also been bit by the injury bug lately. They have Matt Murray back on injury reserve, as well as Chris Letang, who's been mentioned a lot in trade talks lately. So obviously there won't be much happening on that front while he recovers. They've also got Brian Rust and Chad Ruedel out. So with the Penguins trying to climb back into a playoff position and all the chatter around them maybe making a major trade, all these injuries certainly might accelerate a move to be made by General Manager Jim Rutherford. So I wouldn't be totally shocked here in the coming days if we see something go down, but I guess time will tell as they may decide to be patient as well. Hard to say, and obviously the right deal has to be presented in order to move forward. So other than that, on another note, suspension-wise, Ottawa defenseman Frederick Clayson has been suspended for 2 games for his high hit on Boston player Noel Acciari. Obviously the hit was a little high and the head was the focal point of contact. If you didn't see it, I will find a clip and leave it in the description so you can have a look. But it does look like it was a little bit high, a little bit, timing was off probably a little bit as well. Obviously Clayson has a clean history, so there's not going to be too severe of a punishment here. I don't believe there's any kind of intent. It was just a hit that was lined up and just the nature of it going at such a high speed. Unfortunate contact to the head. So obviously he'll be out for 2 games and he'll be back in January to resume play with the Senators. Speaking of the Senators, there's always lots of trade talk around them lately with the way their season's been going. I don't have any other really new rumors to discuss outside of the St. Louis Blues maybe having a long hard look at forward Mike Hoffman. Obviously Hoffman has a wicked shot and can be a proven goal scorer at times, so it wouldn't surprise me that they would be interested, especially with some of their top guys being out injured right now. So hard to say if there's a deal there in the works, but I know with the Blues having a long hard look, we'll see what can happen. With the way Senators' season's going, I wouldn't be surprised to see a few moves. If I were Pierre Dorian, I'd probably be a little bit more patient with a guy like Hoffman and maybe try to move some other players, but at the same time you have to move a guy who can bring you back some assets. So hard to say. We should probably see some trades pick up here in the next few days or into the new year. That wouldn't be much surprise. We've had a lot of trade talk on this channel lately, and I think a lot of it very well could happen. So we'll see. If you have any comments below, make sure you leave them regarding any injuries or any trade chatter that you've heard that I may not have mentioned here, and we'll be catching you soon in the next video.